It's Baby Friday indeed. Well, I wonder why we put so many pressures on ourselves at the beginning of every year. Just talking to friends and stuff, everybody is doing it right now. Well, finding the calm, the peace and balance is a big challenge. So we thought it would be a good idea to get a bit of enlightenment from a monk, not just any monk, Zen monk and psychotherapist Koshin Paley. Ellison, take a look.
Well, Koshin, thank you for taking the time. You're the co-founder of the New York Zen Center for Contemplative Care, plus you're a Zen teacher and a Jungian psychotherapist. You have a method for doing what you call uncaging yourself. This is something I'm super interested in. So can you explain what you mean and explain the process?
Yes, so it is a process of really looking at how we bind ourselves in our own stories and problems. And so I find there are three particular steps of practice that I find super helpful. One of them is to really learn how to get clear. The first is, how do I get clear about what am I doing in my life? How am I functioning am I replaying the same stories that are really difficult? And so to get really clear about how we're contributing to our own tangles and struggle, I find that often there are stories that are very repetitive that I tell myself, whether I'm good enough or I'm not good enough, or whether people like me or they don't like me. It's this very repetitive situation. And so learning how to get clear about what those stories are, and then begin to ask, what else is true? And for me, that's the beginning of learning how to unlock how we cage ourselves in. And then to me, the next stage is courage, that to have a heartedness and a heartfulness to really learn how to say, well, it's not enough just to be clear. It's not enough just to know what our issue is, but how do we learn how to have the courage to meet what is difficult, what is challenging, what is awkward, what is uncomfortable, and what is hard. And so having the courage to actually change is, to me, the real beginning of this uncaging of our habitual patterns. And the third part of it is compassion. To do this is a way of functioning with compassion, which really, to me, is the path of loving awareness. And it means to suffer with people and just to realize that everywhere we look around, everyone else also has some story that they are holding on to, that they are suffering with. And so learning how to be compassionate with whoever we're with, including ourselves, in the morning, in the bathroom mirror, and to say that I can be with you right here. I see you. I can be clear with you. I can be courageous and compassionate.
I love that, Koshin. I think that that's a great way to look at life and things to really remember as you're going through. Now, you mentioned people's stories, and I'm happy you did, because I want to talk about your own story, your newest book, Untangled. Why did you write it?
I wrote this book because I've been reflecting on how we all get really tangled in our own tangles. We get tangled in our own stuff so often, and I know that has deeply been true for myself. And I really wanted to explore these teachings. They're called the Four Nobilities, or the Four Noble Truths. And they're really, they begin with that the world is tangled in a tangle, that there's difficulty, there's hardship, there's confusion and overwhelm. And I wanted to write and be a companion along the road with others to really, how do we untangle that tangle? And we do that through really taking a look again at that clarity of how we get caught in it, how we change, and actually what are the practices to transformation.
Do you have a favorite chapter in the book?
Well, it's so interesting because I just also love the meditation that I put together about uncaging yourself, because I feel that in many ways it was something that I really realized in myself, that I was living inside of a cage that was the size and shape and it looked exactly like my own body. And something about writing that really helped me to understand that, oh, right, it's me. And to learn how to do something new is to realize that it can start with me.
Yes. Well, Koshin, I think that your teachings and your values really can play a huge role in anybody's life. So I hope that everybody out there will go ahead and grab a copy of Untangled. I can't wait to read it myself. But Koshin, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us and to help us feel more grounded in our day.
All right, Zen monk and psychotherapist Koshin Paley, Ellison's newest book. It's called Untangled, Walk the Eightfold Path to Clarity, Courage, and Compassion. His other book is titled Wholehearted, Slow Down, Help Out, and Wake Up. Both are available now wherever books are sold.